Hi everyone and welcome. I am actually in Paris right now with two American friends who lived in Paris and a random French guy we got off the street. Just kidding. No, this is Fabien. And we thought it would be fun to answer all of the questions that we get the most about moving to France. Are you guys excited?
Oh yeah.
Of course.
So a question that I hear a lot, and I'd love to hear your experiences and what you think, is like, do you need to know French to move here?
Well, legally speaking, and then I'll let you guys answer about the practicality, but no, you can get a visa without speaking a single word of French. If you want to seek a longer term stay for multi-use permit, you will need to speak a bit of French. So at this stage, they're going to expect you to have the A2 level if you want a multi-use permit. And then if you want to apply for the permanent permit, 10 years, it's B1. And if you want to apply for citizenship, B2, but that's never required. It's not mandatory. So you can stick, well, basically with A2, you can have 5 years permit, B1, 10 years permit.
And beyond the legal aspect, in your experience, do you think that you need to know French to move here? Like, what has your experience been like?
I don't think you need to. However, I do think it's important to try to learn the language of a place that you are going to live. So I just started learning for the past 2 months at French school, and I'm now level A2, which
Congrats.
is really exciting. And I just think it's fun. I think it's so important, like you mentioned earlier. I mean, you aren't going to fully understand the culture without getting some of the language. And so, yeah, I think if you're going to move to France, you should learn French, but you don't need to.
Yeah.
And we love it
Yeah.
because we find it super charming, the English accent.
I would agree also, and also just like for clarification, because I didn't know this before I came out, there are levels to this. Like the A2, B1, B2 is like, where am I on this thing? The lowest level, they have like an A0, that's like you're
That's
just...
what I was. Yeah.
You know, and you don't know, maybe you know bonjour, but like that might be the limit. And then you have like A1, which is like, was like beginner, and then A2 is like upper beginner, then the intermediate is like B1. B2 is like upper intermediate, and B2 level is like where you can qualify to like get into most schools, you can qualify for most visas. I think for currently right now, if you want to apply for citizenship later on, like the B2 is like the level that you need, unless that changes. And then C1 is like the elite class. I'm not there yet.
You'll get there.
Mentally, I'm there. Mentally,
That's what it takes. Fake it till you make it.
On paper, I have B2.2.
Okay.
But, you know, so C1 and C2 are like expert / like fluent level, but like, yeah, I think you can really just
and I think at the end of the day, what you're saying too is like, it's good to learn the language. You might not need it legally, but you know, it's not, you don't have to be perfect either. You don't have to be fully fluent to move here. And yeah, great. All right, another question that I've heard a lot is, as Americans, do French people even like us? Do they want us here?
Well, I know. I've seen a lot of French bashing sometimes, from other cultures, but it doesn't work the other way around. Like, the French love Americans. I may be biased about that, but I mean, all the Americans that live in France that I've met, they pretty much all share the same stories over and over again. That, basically, we love you guys. Shouldn't be saying this, but also when you speak, like, there's a pro tip. When you speak to, you try speaking French, they'll notice your English accent. And if you kind of make them understand you're American, they may even like you more because they know you're not British. So the only ones that sometimes, I mean, I don't obviously, but that sometimes the French have a beef against might be the Brits. Again, I don't, and it's kind of an outdated thing, but sometimes like the old French people sometimes.
And what has your experience been like? Have French people been receptive to you or warm to you?
Honestly, my first visit to France was probably over 10 years ago, and I remember being nervous hearing like French people are rude, they don't like Americans. And when I had the complete opposite experience, I traveled all over the country and I met the nicest people who helped me when I was lost, people who like baked me croissants just randomly. It's here. So I've had the complete opposite experience, and I think, I mean, mean people are mean anywhere. Like, it's not in one place. So I've had a great experience so far.
I agree. Like, I don't think people tend to like that I'm American. I mean, they hear it, and I lean into that.
Yeah.
I'm in a lot of spaces where I'm the only American, and I stand out, so I just embrace that. I'm like, yeah.
have to.
You're like, oh,
Yeah.
c'est Anthony l'Américain. Of course he's going to do that. I'm like, yeah, of course I'm going to do that because
That's
I am
you,
American.
yeah.
It's just, yeah,
Yeah.
I'm gonna do the extra. I'm gonna do the most. You expect that, and I'm gonna just do it. I do think that, like what you said, they like it. They
Yeah.
like the,
No, we do.
you know.
I used to be told to not lose my accent. They're like, please keep
Really?
your American accent because they just like
Oh, we love it.
They love it.
Really
yeah.
cute.
So again, not something you really have to worry about. Is it expensive? I think a lot of people associate France with luxury, and you see Paris and you see gold crusted things everywhere and the Louis Vuitton, and like, is it expensive to live here?
Yeah, I will speak from my experience because I've lived in both New York, Los Angeles, and I'm from Michigan. And I feel as an American, making mostly US dollar, right? For me, I'm spending a lot less here than I would in Los Angeles, in New York, and even Michigan. Like, my rent in Paris is the same or less tthan some of my friends living in Detroit.
Really?
Yes.
Wow,
Yes.
that's surprising.
Which is shocking, and they
Yeah.
always are asking me, like, how do you afford? I'm like, guys, actually, you should move over here.
Yeah.
But I know that's unfair to say as well, because that's relative to the US dollar versus the euro and our salaries versus the salaries here. So that's something to consider.
Sure.
I think also like the that is true, but I also noticed that like the size of like the apartment is smaller.
Yeah.
So you give up a little bit of space, but it is more affordable.
Yeah.
And also groceries are a lot cheaper. You know, shout out to
Totally.
Lidl. We're not sponsored by Lidl, but like I be getting my stuff.
Aldi, like,
Yeah. You can get like you can really stretch a long way
Yeah.
here than you can in the U.S. Like the groceries are a lot more affordable, and wine you can get wine. I had some good wine for like €2.
Literally,
I had some good wine
and
for
it's
like
good.
$2.
Yeah.
You drink a $3 bottle of wine in the States?
Oh yeah.
No.
You might die.
Yeah, you might. Actually,
yeah.
you might.
That's moonshine at this price.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Let's say you want to move to France. How do you find a place to live here? Like, how did you guys find a place to live? Do you know experiences of Americans who have moved here, and where, like, do they have to stay in a hotel when they get here? How do you find an apartment?
Yeah, that's a good question because, so yeah, we do see thousands of Americans. We help them move to France. This is actually depends where you're from. So I'm going to answer on the legal side. So you do need to have a French address to apply for a visa. And well, if it's a longer-term visa, it has to be a permanent address. But there is leniency around, well, with some countries that we're friend with, or like close friend with. So for example, Americans, we will accept an Airbnb address for a visa application, which won't be the case for the Brits. Not that we're not friend with the Brits, just like I think Brexit is still too soon. And the EU still holds a bit of a grudge, so they apply the rules by the book from the UK. So they will need to have secured a 1-year lease for their visa, which is in theory the norm. So that's on the legal standpoint. Then practically, it is indeed harder when you're trying. That's also why we agree with those Airbnbs from the US, because when you're not in France, this is the French system is very protective to the tenant, not the landlord. And therefore, landlords are very reluctant to commit to a tenant, especially if that guy is from abroad and has like US dollar income and stuff like this. So it is a bit more difficult. Although once they get to understand, like for example, American renters, they know they're one of the best in the world. Like you pay rent. So it's a yes and no kind of answer.
Yeah. Was it hard for you guys to find a place?
I took an unconventional route. I moved from the U.S. and I moved with a French person into their space.
Yeah.
I had
Maybe that's the loophole.
I had that. Yeah, I had
Find
Someone else's address.
I had that Tinder
Download
Gold.
Hinge.
I had
Put it in Paris.
I had Tinder Gold.
Yeah.
I did. Yeah, I found a beautiful French person, moved in, and actually because I needed a attestation d'hébergement, like a legal form that says I live at this location. They were nice enough to give me that, and so I used their information.
There's only 3 legal options. Well, again, theoretically, which is obviously if you own a place in France, a 1-year lease or 3 years if it's furnished, and then an attestation d'hébergement, which is like a proof of hosting from someone else.
So I use that type of thing to get in, but like now we're no longer together, and so like it's okay. It's all good. It's all good because now I'm seeing Paris by myself, or like in a new space. But like, see, I had to move now, and I couldn't use that address anymore, and it was really difficult. Yeah. But because I'm also a student, luckily my school partners with like this like platform that has a lot of, it's called Studapart, that has a lot of like logement, like a lot of places to rent from. So I was able to get in that way. Cool. But yeah, there's also this question about the guarantees thing, which that is a headache too, a guarantor. Yeah. It has to be French. It has to be someone. But as a person who's not living, I mean, who doesn't have any family in France, like,
how are you going to get a guarantor? Yeah. There are some companies that can help you now. I applied for my visa having a 3-month Airbnb as my residence, which they accepted for my type of visa. And then after that, I was on all of the French, C'est Loger, all of those websites trying to find a long-term apartment. And what I ran into was a lot of landlords or companies wanted me to pay a full year up front. Yeah. Even if I could prove I have this much in my bank account, these are my pay stubs. They were like, yeah, but you could leave. And I'm like, okay, but anyone can with 30-day notice. Why not? It doesn't make sense, but they wanted me to pay up front, and ultimately that is what I had to do to secure
a full year?
For a full year.
Oof. That's a lot. So I guess in short, you can find a place. Yeah. There are lots of ways to do it. Yeah. There are lots of avenues, but it might take some creativity. It might take a little bit of work.
And some hope and prayer.
I have friends who've done it the other way and didn't have to do, but I was like, I need a place, so.
What about French healthcare? Can Americans get French healthcare? Do we have to have American healthcare? How does that work?
Yeah, well, there's a lot of misconception around that. First, there's a faux ami there because we call that social security, a sécurité sociale, which is not a retirement package in France. This is public healthcare. So, well, I'm going to generalize. Most people can apply into French healthcare for free after they've been around for 90 days, considering they're a legal resident. But this is one of the misconceptions. Applying doesn't mean you're part of the system yet. So again, there's exceptions. But if you are, for example, on a non-working visa, like the visitor visa, you can start applying, but it's probably going to take an extra 6-ish months to actually get into French healthcare, which is basically you will be part of French healthcare within the first year, but that's going to take like 9-ish months total. And so a lot of people think, oh yeah, well, I only need healthcare for 3 months, and then they'll be part of French healthcare. So again, theoretically and legally speaking, this is why you are supposed to have a 1-year healthcare private package initially to make sure you're going to be covered for that 1 year. And then, well, if it has a break clause, but once you're part of French healthcare, the public system, then you can transition to something we have, which is fabulous, which is the mutuelle, the top-up health insurance, that really doesn't cost much and will come topping up French public healthcare, which is basically for free, or a part of your income that you pay on your payslip.
Okay, just a quick one. Do you have a carte vitale yet?
I have my carte vitale.
He has his carte vitale, and you don't.
No.
So it takes some time, right? So there are some ways to get it, but
I have the private plan right now, and then
you need something in between until you can get on it.
I actually need to update mine right now. It's expired, but I can just go.
So no, you don't have one.
But you said I can go to
It does work. The carte vitale is just the automatic refund.
Okay.
So you said I can go to the pharmacy and I can.
Any pharmacy, yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna do that.
Okay, and last. So, if someone wants to move to France, where do they start?
Oh, well, I would say with us, but no. Well, there's a lot of avenues. It really depends. There's dozens of different visa types. And it depends on each and everyone's situation. For example, it is not the same to be the spouse of a French citizen than it is to be the spouse of an EU citizen, despite France being part of the EU. And obviously being single is not the same. Being a student is not the same as being self-employed, and it's not the same as being a visitor or retirees. So there's different types, a lot of different types. The short story here is that for pretty much anyone, it does involve applying for a visa in your home country or your country of residence if that's not the same, and that country is not France. So basically, if you're in France and you want to stay around, that probably means you have to buy you have to buy a plane ticket to go back home apply for your visa, which is usually like a couple month-ish process, like 1 to 2 months. And well, in the US, usually that's what it is. And then you can come back to France at the intended arrival date. So that's usually the process. And then you get a 1-year visa that you can renew. I hate this word. You never renew a visa. You convert it into a residence permit.
Okay.
But it wouldn't be France if it's not confusing. So they call it renewing the visa.
Okay, and so what visa do you have?
I'm on the long-term stay visitor visa. It lasts a year, and then I already want to stay, so we'll see what I do next.
And what visa do you have?
I'm on the VLSTS student visa.
Student visa?
Yeah, I started with just learning French here, so I enrolled into French classes, and I was able to have my visa from that, applying to the Campus France in the US.
Yep, that's what I did too. Yeah.
So, yeah.
But how many types of visas are there?
Oh, well, dozens and dozens.
Yeah.
And also it depends on how you count because, like for example, there is the passeport talent. So we could say it's one category, but within this category, there's the entrepreneur, there's the investor. So
Right.
it also depends on what you call a visa. So,
Totally.
Yeah. I won't be taken off guard by the viewers who might double check the information. So it depends on how you count, but there's dozens and dozens of visas.
Well, I hope you enjoyed this and that you got a lot out of it and you learned something. If you have any other questions, please leave them below in the comments and we'll try our best to answer them. And if the viewers that are here today want to find you guys, where can they find you?
I'm on Anthony Abroad. Everywhere Anthony Abroad.
Love it. I'm Rami Travel everywhere.
And I'm Fab Expats.
Love it. Thank you so much, guys.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Let's get some croissants.